Previously on Kamen Revice, I mean over demons. I want to be the main character!
We already have one! It's Sakura!
You'll need 2 corpses and a bucket of water.
12 seconds later.
It's not enough!
A few inches later.
I like my boys soy, and you're not even damn. Nice and moist.
I'm so wet.
Aw, fuck it. This little bitch. Here's your character development!
Can it be next week already? That preview for episode 42, that preview looks like everything I've been asking for. Alright, let me calm down. So what happened this week? A lot of fighting, a lot of foreshadowing, and a lot of setups. Let's talk about Revice episode 41. Akaishi, not reaching his nutting point yet, still gets his jollies from stroking Daiji. Daiji's just doing what he feels is right, and that's all Akaishi wants. But he still has some strings attached in the form of his family. This man wants Daiji all to himself and tells Vale to go ahead and slaughter the family, by any means necessary. Genta's had enough of this. No one's gonna claim his boy, even if he did write 2 diss tracks about him. Hiromi is here as well, but in the background, where he belongs, because he will assist from behind. At weekend, everyone is worried about main character Hikaru. Since losing Tasuke, the world now revolves around him, even as countless are fighting against the demons. Dealing with Hikaru's feels comes first. Girlfriend Hana and poorly utilized Tamaki insist that they've got this, but that's when George chimes in with his brand new toys. Say hello to the Demons Troopers! Totally not repaints of the Zek Troopers from Kabuto. This is what the mass production Demons drivers results in. We've got 2 generic flavors of Spider and Kawagata. These are the ones that are led by Hiromi background. Taking on countless waves of demons led by Vale, the troopers along with the riders defend various locations from being attacked. However, it appears that Akaishi's plan is working as civilians, scared for their own lives, decide that joining Ararat would be safer. Vale finally strikes, and what you would assume would be a meaningful interaction between him and his previous meal, it looks like Vale is not in the mood for leftovers and completely ignores Hiromi. Iki and Vice join into the chaos and show off some new tricks, as they collectively gather all of the demons into a ball and finish them off with one blow. That was actually pretty fucking great. They move on to Vale and easily outclass him, though it appears that his time has run short and he'll need to exit. While all this is going on, main character Damp Hikaru is getting his added character development, training on his own on a set we haven't seen in like 30 episodes, only for Sakura to show up and develop him even more. The parents really are the ones that shine this episode, especially Genta. Dealing with the news of Daiji earlier and Vale being the root of so much, Yukimi ends up finding the photos that Iki has been hiding, leading to the bombshell about Iki's memories. Genta decides that it's time for him to do something about this. His children are out there risking and losing so much while he stays at home. Akaishi busts an enormous nut all over the room, with Gifu being agitated at humanity's lack of bending the knee. How does he express this anger? Well, he can't talk, so this gives Akaishi flashbacks to what happened to the civilization he used to rule over. To make matters worse, Vale comes in soon after, complaining about his not immortality. Being informed that he's been on borrowed time since getting sucked into the Vale driver 25 years ago, he decides to overdose on Vice stamps. All juiced up and with dealer on hand, they go ahead and start striking on the Demons Troopers. This coincides with Iki asking Masumi regarding Vale's condition and if it'll have any effect regarding their dad. Though, the Vale Akaishi fight takes the priority. As everyone leaves, Masumi collapses, just as Genta comes in, Seeing what Vale is up to, he asks for his driver back. He then takes it to George and asks if there's any way to modify it so that he can go ahead and join in the fight. Y'all, I'm hype. I'm hype as shit. Come on. At the bloodbath, Akaishi adds insult to injury and scorches up the bodies of all the fallen demons troopers. Iki and Vice show up to challenge them, putting up quite a brutal fight. Not to leave the L's hanging, Daiji shows up in full holy L, only to get bodied by Aguilera. Did she always have those wings? They take the fight to the air, where we see where the budget for all of the new stuff we've been getting has been going. Revice takes the fight against Akaishi and Vale to the next stage by doing a number on them with a setup to a finisher. Only for Akaishi's bitch ass not wanting to die, ducking the punch just in time. A flailing Vale takes advantage of their confusion, but Iki can't bring himself to beat him up. That's when Masumi shows up with the weekend driver. So this week we got the debut of the good guy grunts in the Demons Troopers. I hate these. As I mentioned, it's literally just a repaint of the Zek Troopers from Kabuto, and not even a good looking repaint at that. Those guys were at least black. The helmets look dumb as shit as well. This is like a 0 out of 10 design. Probably the worst suit designs in this show. Just in this show. This episode is actually very, very exciting. It does feel like we're dealing with end of the world type shit going on now, with just non-stop roaring factions and just taking the fights to the streets with armies upon armies fighting against each other. Even if they are in closed off sets, it's still doing so much for me in terms of excitement. And I was literally at the edge of my seat watching this episode almost from start to finish. So it's absolutely getting the Agito A! Genta! We're getting the setup to next week's main event, and we can't not talk about Genta without speculating on that preview. So we got back to jokey Genta a couple episodes ago, but it really seems like the parental instincts are now hitting for this man. Daiji's getting claimed by another man, Sakura is no longer the main character, and Iki is losing his memories. And it's all his fault. Especially since Iki's memory loss is directly due to contracting Vice, because of Vale. He's had the ability to fight, but how does he defeat his own demon without dying? Or is he willing to sacrifice it all? That's where Masumi comes in. Since we already know he's in declining health, and as the only member of Original Weekend that hasn't died yet, he's gotta go. But he's gonna do it in style. It's clear that after next week, my fucking money will be gone, since we see Masumi holding a red rolling Vice stamp. So, that's gonna be a new toy. So he's likely gonna absorb Vale in there and transform into the new best suit in Revice versus more reused assets. More on that suit next week. In using the rolling Vice stamp, it's clear that his body's likely gonna end up getting jacked by Vale. As such, it's now his body to control, and he is officially separated from Genta, taking on a brand new contract. But this is really, really what I've been waiting for, and I'm hoping it doesn't let me down. Also, that means that the Vale driver is probably gonna go pre-Bandai next week. Gifu seems to be growing impatient, and by busting out of Akaishi's hand just like that, that means that the clock's ticking. So we might get him finally out of that pocket dimension in a hot second. And I'm also going to bet that it'll be Gifu that kills Akaishi. How Daiji handles that L? No clue yet. Anyway, what are your thoughts on the setups in this week's episode? Everyone is dying for the sake of plot. The new Demons Troopers, Akaishi's gushing Gifusi, and Genta looking like it's finally his time to shine. That's it for me. I will catch you all on the next one. Bye.